TTRLA, man, we are back with another clip. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I need y'all to go ahead and like, subscribe, and share to my channel. Sometimes I be forgetting to say that because I'm just like new to this YouTube shit. But yeah, go ahead and get me, don't shit me. We are now going to do a synopsis of YNW Melly's case. Y'all peeped that? He was like, I love you. We are going to do a synopsis of the YNW Melly murder trial case. This is day 10. They have expert up there who was able to reconstruct the scene of the crime, and basically he's on stand telling the jury, or the jury, basically why YNW Melly was not in a shootout, just based on a projectile, and how he was able to accurately reconstruct the scene of the crime. It's getting serious. Like, the defense took a blow today for shit show. Prosecutors came back like the Wizards in the fourth quarter, and they down by 10. Prosecutors hit about 4 jumpers back to back on their ass.
Locations potentially to look for evidence.
I don't know, I may be tripping, but him drinking long and shit like that just made me feel like they lost the point. Damn, he breaking this shit down. He even said how the glass in all cars is temperate, which I knew about that because I sold cars, but he basically letting the jury know that if this was a drive-by shooting, it would be very hard for him to reconstruct the drive-by, just based on bullets going all different type of directions. Okay, so basically he's saying that the bullets came directly from behind the vehicle. Now, mind you, YNW Melly's defense is claiming that he was never in the vehicle. So what the prosecution is going to do is going to be like, boop. Well, this motherfucker was he got out the car and he got the shooting, blaming, painting shit, painting his 2 best friends, free credit, like, damn.
You would look for casings or surveillance footage. Is that something shooting reconstruction would help with?
It would help with. It would definitely help. But we could also, if it perforated the wall, then we can do a reconstruction. And perforation is all the way through. Penetration, it goes in and it stays.
And in terms of, so we're clear on that.
And they talking about doing reconstruction. I want to know, did they get a car and did they drive past the car and shoot in the car to see if the bullets will land like it's supposed to? Did it or did they not?
We only have one hole. The projectile did not complete its flight path because it was stopped. So because it did not complete the flight path, I cannot tell you the angle or the trajectory that it came in at.
I don't know how other people looking at it, but this right here, when he said it didn't go through with its flight and he couldn't tell which way it projected, I think that's a win for defense.
To a third or fourth target, the initial first and second hole is that actual flight path or trajectory of that projectile.
And in terms of, you talked about like secondary targets, intermediate targets, is that something you've done training and experience in looking at when you're doing a shooting reconstruction?
Yes.
For example, glass. Does that have specific properties that you would look for deflection?
So tempered glass, which is what is in every vehicle, mainly because if you're driving down the road and a rock comes off a truck and it hits your windshield, you don't want it to shard and stab you in the eye as you're driving down the road. So all of the glass inside an automobile is tempered glass, which means that it goes into little tiny pieces. It also has a piece of plastic or clear plastic in the middle. It's actually 2 pieces of glass with a piece of plastic in the middle, which keeps it intact. But the tempered glass will create some type of movement to a projectile. Generally, it will depending on the spin of the projectile. So as some barrels of a gun are going to rotate the projectile to the right, and some will rotate it to the left, and some will not rotate it at all. Generally, they're all rotated to the right, so when the projectile enters into the tempered glass, the projectile will tend to go to the right. It won't necessarily alter the trajectory, it's just turning it.
Okay, so this is things that have been documented and studied in the field of shooting reconstruction.
Yes.
In terms of other materials, sheet metal, wood, are these other items that you would look at and determine whether they were involved before you go forth and render an opinion on a shooting reconstruction?
Yes.
So going back into, I want to make sure it's clear, how does the discipline of shooting reconstruction differ from firearms and tool marks?
So firearms and tool marks deals with the identification of the internal workings of a firearm and the cartridge cases of the that come out of the firearm and the projectiles that come out of the firearm. They deal with that part, where I will deal with the ballistics part of it, of shooting reconstruction.
So when you say ballistics, do you mean inside the gun or outside the gun?
Outside of the gun.
In terms of, can you define what is a terminal ballistics?
Terminal ballistics is the projectile has stopped, and